And we are back, and Ole Miss women won again in Alabama. They played the last two conference games in Birmingham, and they stay in the state. And there's a good reason for it. They head straight to Tuscaloosa for a game 2 days from now. The terrible winter storm has just been devastating to see, and it's had effects on so many lives, including our next guest. Coach Yo, it is always great to see you. I hope my friends in Alabama are taking care of you. You're certainly not being kind to the opposition that come to visit you there. How are you?
Paul, it's always good to be on the show and see you. I was getting a little worried because I was on Stephen A. Smith and I said, I'm feeling out of place. Usually Paul comes in and invites me, but so it's always good to see you. And yes, everyone has been incredibly hospitable in the state for sure.
Before we get to the court, I do want to go back a couple of days because you're working and fortunate that you found a place to
Mhm.
land, even though I know you're away from your daughters and your husband and your family. But just go back to this storm that hit the state and especially the Oxford area that is still playing such a devastating role in so many people's lives.
Yeah, it was almost like it was straight out of a movie. Everybody said that it was going to be bad, but you couldn't even describe it. You would have needed to be there. We were out of power for about 3 days, but as a staff, some of my staff was out for a whole week, and there's still people that are out without power, and some places may not get it for another 2 weeks. And then once we got power, then there were water shortages all over. And you've been to Oxford plenty times. Like it's just a beautiful place, a lot of greenery, very clean, and just to see it in the way and it was heartbreaking.
So I mean, some people just have to can move on and maybe visit, go stay with relatives in Memphis or Jackson or somewhere else. I mean, you're in the middle of the basketball season, so take us through what happened because all of a sudden you've got these games and they're big games and
Yeah.
they're important games against ranked teams. What was the course of action?
So what happened was we this last week was supposed to be we was our 3 game homestand. We had Tennessee on Monday, and then we would have played Vanderbilt Thursday and Auburn on Sunday. And once the storm hit, we had to reschedule the Tennessee game, and then we started going into pivot mode. And the commissioner came up with the idea and said, why don't they just come here? Are they open to doing a neutral site? And I was like, yeah, of course we are, because at the end of the day, we just need to play games. While this is unforeseen circumstances and unfortunate, the show must go on. So we packed up. Shout out to Shay Ralph. She allowed us to get here and move the game to Friday. And shout out to Coach LB. He let us move the game to Monday. And we got here and was able to get some warmth and showers and some food other than potato chips and that kind of survival stuff. And we were able to get back up on our feet and prepare for 2 games. And it's all because of the commissioner, Greg Sankey. He said, let us come up. So we just came up and, we told the team, you can't feel sorry for yourselves. This is just an opportunity for us to kind of play in a neutral site situation and make the most of it.
Yeah, I saw. I know the commissioner was over at the game the other day at the Legacy Arena, which is part of the BJCC complex in
Yeah.
downtown Birmingham. I know you're pretty familiar with that area by now, but you're staying in the state, if I understand
Mhm.
correctly, because your next game is in Tuscaloosa. But before I even
Yeah.
get to that, I know you hate to lose home games. They're so valuable to your program, but there's nothing you can do, or what there really was nothing you could do, could you?
No, I mean, the schools closed down until they don't open back up until February 9th. And so I'm really glad we decided to come up here because, if the schools closed, then we shouldn't be able to play games. And it was just unfortunate, but, we're going to look at it half glass full. And if we do what we hope to do, we're going to be playing in neutral sites for at least 2 to 3 weeks. as we try to make a run to go to the Final Four and play in the national championship. So, and in the SEC tournament, we kind of just looked at it like that.
And I know that you obviously have some road games coming up, starting with Tuscaloosa. But
Mhm.
what is the plan of action for your next home game?
Oh, well, we should be back up and running. So we're in
Okay.
Tuscaloosa right now. Yeah, we're in Tuscaloosa right now. So many people just came in and helped the city of Oxford, and it just shows the type of community that we have. Like a lot of people came in and they've been working diligently. Um, I mean, we had linemen and line women like they were sleeping in cars because they couldn't stay in hotels because the power and stuff was off. So. But it is progressively getting better. We have a long way to go in Oxford, but I'm grateful. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was being in Birmingham. We had so many people that are alums and just fans of Ole Miss come to the game and try to make it feel like a home game as much as possible for both games.
Yeah, and I've talked to a couple of people that were at those games. I mean, there was a good crowd Friday afternoon and an
Yeah.
even better crowd on Monday night. I mean, that's pretty amazing considering you're 4 hours from home.
Right, exactly. So it was great. I mean, like I said, the conference did a great job. The Southeastern Conference, and Paul, this league is unforgiving, man. So I'm really grateful that we came out with 2 wins because, it could have gone the other way. And while it would have been a sad story, no one would care when it comes to Selection Sunday.
I mean, I know this is the peak of the year as we get ready. We're in February now. So talk a little bit, Coach Yo, about keeping your players' heads in all this. In some ways, maybe being all together is a good thing, but it's been difficult. But you're still playing really good basketball. I know there's no secret because you don't have a playbook for this, but how have you done it?
We lucked up because we have a group of young women that really enjoy each other. And so we lucked up with that because they don't have a problem being around each other. And also too, Paul, it's just this is a perfect example of the portal, just having older kids. Um, I think if I had a younger team, I don't know how it would have gone. But my players are older, they've experienced so much. They kind of look at it like, hey, we just something we have to do. The other day, I was feeling the way because, like you said, I'm not with my kids and my family. So on Monday, I woke up just like, man, I'd love to go home. And I gave them the option for us to go home after the game, and they all voted for us to stay on the road and complete the mission. So, it's just really the buy-in from everybody in the program, not complaining. It hadn't been any excuses. We've just taken full advantage of being together and having an opportunity to play games.
I've met Kelly a couple of times in Oxford,
Yeah.
your husband. How's he
Yep.
holding up, running everything up back there?
Yeah, well, he's going nuts a little bit because he's holding it he's holding it down, and my dad's there too. So he's like doing it all right now. When we have 2 dogs, everyone's just driving him nuts. But it's funny because after games, at the end of the games, I open up my phone and there's like a long text message of his halftime thoughts, go how we started, what he thinks. So if anybody is wondering where the pressure is coming from, as far as I'm concerned, it's from my husband, Kelly McEwen.
No, he's great. No, I've always enjoyed
Yeah.
visiting him when we were in Oxford, and I'm really I'm not sure I'm not sure what to make out of this news that I just learned. I feel like I found out something that was hurtful that you and Stephen A have been hanging out together. So let's put an end to that right now.
Hey, that's what I was telling you, Paul. When he reached out and asked me to be on the show, I felt conflicted. I felt like I needed to reach out to you to see how you feel about that because we're best friends. But I figured you would
Uh, well,
allow it.
for, well, fortunately, uh, Fortunately, Stephen A. and I are pretty good, so
Okay.
I'm gonna let you hang out with only the most important guy at this network. So,
I know.
Coach,
Well, you know,
really,
he he gave us a hard time. And so I had to go ahead and clear the air and tell him about Oxford, and you know what it's like. So he said he's gonna come, so
well.
we're gonna hold him to it.
Yeah, I was with him not long ago on his show when he went off, and I defended him, and Stephen A. was not too thrilled that I went against him, which part of my contract says I have to agree with everything he says. So I broke the code there.
Oh man.
Well, I hope Thursday goes well in Tuscaloosa, and we cannot wait to talk to you and see you again soon. And be safe and all the best to the family back home.
Awesome. Paul, I got one question before I leave. Who are you rooting for on Thursday, us or Alabama? I need to know.
Don't tell anybody in Tuscaloosa, but I'm rooting for Coach Yo.
There you go. Always good to see you, Paul. Thank you for having me on.
Thank Thank you, Coach O. I got in trouble once with Lane Kiffin. I said Coach O's the best coach on the Ole Miss campus and my favorite. We'll take a short break. Of course, Lane Kiffin doesn't live there anymore. We'll take a short break. Back with more after this.